Welcome back. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss about the equilibrium points, and this is also called the stationary point or sometimes origin of the dynamical system. So what we found in the previous class, that I have some input and output, and it exists in finite many way to correlate or map between input to output, and these two map has two different property. So some map between input and output. So suppose that some particular class of dynamical system, so maps between input and output will satisfy the linearity property or superposition principle, but some large classes of map will not satisfy this property. And somehow, due to that reason, we have to analyze some more general class of system, and that is called nonlinear system. And I have already told you that meaning of nonlinear system in this course is not necessarily a linear. And after that, I have also told you that it is possible to see the nonlinear system like linear system if I only concentrate on very small window. Now now question is that whenever we want to see the approximation of nonlinear system by some linear system, then what is possible points about which we can do or perform this kind of approximation. And one of the most interesting point in the dynamical system, and here I am assuming map may be linear and non-linear. So nonlinear dynamical system is called the equilibrium point. So in order to understand the equilibrium point, first let us take one very simple example, and I have taken the example from the thermodynamics, and I hope that during your school time in physics course you have already learned about this law. And here suppose that some object is at temperature T, and we have to see that, and suppose that outside temperature is Tm. So we all know that rate of change of the temperature, either temperature may sometime decrease, may sometime increase, that depends on the situation. So rate of change of temperature of some object or body is proportional to the difference of temperature between that body and the surrounding. And due to that reason, we have formulated this kind of law. Basically, this law is given by the Newtons. So here you can see that if I will put the proportionality constant K, so this is basically depending on the material, and I am assuming that this is somehow this K is some kind of real quantity. And here you can see that I have explicitly write that T is the temperature of body at time T, and Tm is the temperature of the surroundings. Now let us try to analyze this particular differential equation. So in this particular differential equation, what I am assuming that initially I have some object, and for some time T, the temperature of this object is Tt, and outside temperature is Tm. Now we are going to see that how basically temperature is changing. So I have to solve this equation. So one way, now you know that how to solve this kind of equation. So either you can go via solution, or another possible way is just you can see the interpretation, that is geometrical interpretation. And here you can see that T is just belongs to some real number, because that whenever we are representing abstract system, always I am assuming that input and output pair is always some kind of real number or some kind of in higher dimensional space I have that belongs to Rn or Rm. So due to that reason, since this is just one dimensional system, due to that reason means approximately that is some kind of approximation. So here I am assuming T belongs to R. Due to that reason I have drawn this line, and let us try to see that if I am at T equal to Tm, at that time dt equal to dt by d small t equal to 0. So rate of change of temperature is basically 0. So somehow I am at this point where I can interpret, if you interpret t as some kind of position and dt by d tau is the rate of change of position, that is something like velocity, then you can again apply Newton's first law. So if you start from this point t equal to Tm, then you are not going to move. So basically in this whole state space, why I am telling a state space, because you can see that a state of this system is temperature and that is changing with respect to time. So then this in this state space, just I have unique stationary point. If I start from this point, then I can give guarantee that I am not going to move. Now if you start anywhere apart from this point, then and suppose if this condition holds k less than 0, then it is possible to to show that, because here in this side if t is greater than Tm, so I have two kind of situation. I have to see the T minus Tm, and it is possible to show that if k is less than 0, then d by dt is less than 0. So I am going to converge towards this direction. If we are on this side, then we are again converge towards this direction. So in this way I can analyze. It means that temperature of body is going to decrease, or somehow means if it means that somehow I am going to create some kind of equilibrium kind of situation. Now let us try to see this idea. Means now I am going to basically extend this idea for generalized class of system. So now you can take any dynamical system, linear, non-linear, and if I talk about non-linear, then obviously linear is included. So I'm going to talk about those kind of maps which basically mapping input to output using some kind of non-linear relation. Or here actually I have already told you that that relation has uniqueness property, so that is function. So now let us define the equilibrium point. So suppose that I have some dynamical system, that is x dot equal to fx. So and that class of dynamical system is called autonomous system. And suppose I am telling that there exists some kind of a state, that is x star, and that is the equilibrium state or equilibrium point of the system. So if xt means since a state is changing with respect to time, so if that become equal to x star, it remains equal to x star for all future time. It means that if I am going to start from x star, then rate of change equal to 0 at that point, so I am not going to move. Or if I do not start from this point, so it might possible if we pass through this point, and once we come to this point, then our all motion is going to cease. That is the meaning of the equilibrium point. So now you can see that I have already told you that I have two different classes of system, and obviously I have talked about three classes, that is force system also. But I have told you that force system can be converted as a either autonomous system or non-autonomous system. So first I try to see that how basically I can define the equilibrium point. So definition we have already seen, but I have to formulate some kind of algebraic criteria to find the to find the equilibrium point in quantitative way, and due to that reason again we have to see the mathematical formulation or abstract formulation. So here you can see that I have taken this autonomous system, and I have already told you that why this is autonomous, because here right hand side of this differential equation is just explicit function of x but not explicit function of time. And whenever we are writing any engineering system or any physical system, then we are always stating the initial, what is state at initial time t0 when we have started our experiment, because this carry the all information from the past. And I have already told you that means this is abstract system. So abstract system, this f should be function. So now you can just again apply the Newton's law. And how basically we are applying Newton's law? I am telling x is now column vector. So x contain x1, x2 and xn. So basically now this is some kind of column vector, and this represent the position. Now if we calculate rate of change of this vector, then that is nothing but some kind of velocity vector. And if velocity equal to 0, then I can tell that, because no forcing function is involved here, because I am already representing everything in terms of position and velocity. So if velocity will cease, then I can tell that if I start from some point, then I am going to stay there. And due to that reason, we are telling that equilibrium point is nothing but some kind of constant vector, and that constant vector basically going to satisfy this kind of property. So now I have to solve this kind of non-linear algebraic equation in order to find that constant vector. So in this way I can, in algebraic way, I can solve this particular differential equation. Now let us take one of the very simple case, and this simple case is linear time invariant system. So again I have considered in this particular place, I have just considered the autonomous system. And here you can see that in this autonomous system, if I want to calculate the equilibrium point, again I have to put same kind of criteria. It means that I have to solve this kind of equation ax equal to 0. Now this ax equal to 0 is no longer nonlinear, because I am assuming that this matrix A has constant entry, and here I am assuming x belongs to Rn. So A is basically n cross n matrix. So now if I am able to solve this equation, then I can able to comment about the equilibrium point. And you can see that if A, this matrix A is non-singular, then I have single solution, and that is equal to x equal to 0. So I have unique solution provided A is non-singular. And in terms of matrix, I can tell that if determinant of A is not equal to 0, then for this linear time invariant system, I have unique equilibrium point, and that equilibrium point is nothing but x equal to 0. So please be careful, x is here vector, because I am telling x belongs to Rn. So each entry of that vector or column is 0. And if A is the non-singular, then I have infinite many equilibrium point. And I will first give one example, and after that I will tell you that if A is non-singular, then story is over. X equal to 0 is the equilibrium point. But if A is singular, then I have to give little more emphasis on that. And due to that reason, we are going to explore some result from the linear algebra. So let us first try to see one example where I have basically infinite many equilibrium point. So I have constructed very simple example. X double dot is d2x by dt square, So and x dot is dx by dt. So in a state space representation, why I am doing a state space representation? Because in this way I can define position vector and I can define the velocity vector, and once I know the position vector and velocity vector, then I will just put velocity equal to 0 in order to find the invariant point or equilibrium point. Because if I start from that point, velocity is 0, then we are not going to move. That is the very basic idea of the basic idea coming from Newton's first law. And due to that reason I have expressed like this. And here you can see that again, in order to solve the equilibrium point, this is a matrix, so you have somehow you have to solve ax equal to 0, and if you solve ax equal to 0, and from here also means if you put x dot equal to 0 and x2 dot equal to 0, then from here I will get x2 equal to 0. And if you represent x2 equal to 0 this space, because I have two-dimensional system, so two-dimensional system can be represented like this. This is x1 and x2, and I am telling x2 equal to 0. So if you plot the x2 equal to 0, it means that in this whole line from here to here, so this whole line is basically represent x2 equal to 0. So this is equilibrium point. And you can see that all equilibrium point, because all points of this line from minus infinity to plus infinity is the equilibrium point, all are connected equilibrium point. And it is possible to show that whenever in linear system we have more than one equilibrium point, all equilibrium point is connected. It means that for linear system I cannot claim that I have isolated equilibrium point. We will see that importance of isolated equilibrium point and existence of the isolated equilibrium point in case of nonlinear system in next part of this lecture. So now I have told you that if I have singular A is singular matrix, then I have infinite many equilibrium point. Then how to solve that? How to identify means what plane here? Here it is pretty easy, but it might possible I have n dimensional system. At that time I have n cross n matrix. So in order to do that, I have to basically understand this concept. And why I have actually brought this concept here, because in this way you are able to somehow connect between linear algebra and system theory also. So basically here whenever I have some matrix A, then always there exist four different kind of spaces, and that is a space. And I for time being I am assuming that, but do not worry, even if you are not knowing about the vector space or subspace definition of subspace, still you are able to visualize using this example. And again, if I have time, then I will talk about vector space. Everything means from the linear algebra, which is required for the several part of this course. So first space is called, that name of first space is called the column space. And let us try to see that what is the meaning of this column space. So basically we are telling that suppose I have some matrix A, then I am going to define column space by CA, so contains all the combination of the column. So basically means I will explain this point in detail on the next part. Just first you can try to see the definition. Similarly, I have row space. Row space is nothing but you have to take transpose of this matrix A and contain all combination of the column of A transpose. So that is meaning of the row space. And in order to two more space associated with that matrix, that is called null space. So in order to find null space, we have to solve this equation and try to see that Ax equal to 0 is the basically for our purpose. So whenever we have some kind of linear LTI system, x dot equal to Ax, then using null space I can able to find the equilibrium point. So due to that reason, equilibrium point for linear LTI system is nothing but the null space of matrix A, or this is also called system matrix, because if you are going to capture some physical system, then whatever parameters of that system, that is going to reflect inside this matrix. And another space is called left null space. And in order to find left null space, again definition or finding is like this. Suppose that I have talked about column space, and corresponding to column space I have row space, just by if I will take A transpose. Similarly here you can see that I have to take the transpose of this and I have to solve this equation. So in this way, whenever I have some matrix A, first you have to understood that I have 4 different spaces associated with that, and that is called subspace. And that 4 subspace is column space, row space, null space, or left null space. Now let us try to see using one example, and after that we try to visualize the whole story. So basically I have taken here one matrix, that is 2 cross 2 matrix. So basically this is R2 cross 2 matrix. So here you can see that in this particular matrix, here 1 and 2, and somehow this, if you consider these two element, so this row and this row, if you multiply with 3, then I can create this row also. If you multiply in this side by 2, then I can create these 2 column also. So I have intentionally I have taken this kind of intentionally I have taken this kind of basically system. Here you try to see that if I have some matrix A, and so, and if we are telling that this matrix is a span some space, what does it mean? So suppose, in order to understand that, just you can take the 2-dimensional space. Now in 2-dimensional space, you can see that if I write like this 0 1, and here if I write x and y, so I can also write this kind of quantity like this 1 0 and plus y into 0 1. So now you can see that if I will change x and y, then I am able to move anywhere in this particular space. So just if I will alter x and y, then I can move anywhere in this space. So somehow, if this matrix is giving information that the basis, this is called basis, means linearly independent quantity, and here you can see that that is going to lie along this column. And if these 2 column is linearly independent, again I hope that you are knowing that what is meaning of linearly independent. So 2 vector is called linearly independent. If alpha v1 plus alpha v2 equal to 0, then only one solution I have, alpha equal to 0 and alpha 2 equal to 0. So basically, whenever we are writing some kind of matrix, and if these 2 quantity is linearly independent, then it is possible to move on that 2-dimensional space anywhere you can move. And in this way, now you are able to see that in any 2-dimensional space, any non-singular matrix can treated as the basis. Basis means I can able, with help of this I can move anywhere in that space. That is the somehow, that is the rough idea, but not concrete definition, but just I will give you the overview. Now try to see that what is meaning of column space. So column space CA, here I have to somehow, using that column I have to move the space, but luckily in this particular matrix 1 3 and 2 6 are actually multiple of each other. So basically now I have, because this is 2 cross 2 matrix, so that will represent 2-dimensional plane, and this is line because another point is again lie on this line only. Similarly, CA transpose, if you see, then that is nothing but these 2 entry. So entry of 1 and 2, and so line through 1 and 2, and obviously 3 6 is going to lie on this. And in order to calculate the null space, you can see that you have to multiply with ax equal to 0, and if you multiply with 2 minus 1, so it is possible to show that you will get 0 0, and due to that reason we are telling that line through this will represent the null space, and after that this is called left null space. So you have to solve this, and it is possible to show. So just by checking, but there is systematic way to generate the null space, so you have to learn that separately. In this particular course I am not going to discuss that, but just I will give you the idea that whenever I have some constant matrix, then there exist 4 different kind of subspaces with respect to that matrix. And why I am telling subspace, here you can see that I have 2-dimensional space, but using that column space or null space I am only able to move on some specific line only. So geometrically what I am telling, I have drawn this all 4 spaces corresponding to this matrix. So you can see that 4 fundamental space that is associated with that matrix is 4 infinite lines, and here that infinite line you try to see that if this represent the null space and this represent the row space. So in this way this line and this line you can draw, and similarly for left null space and column space you can see these 2 line comes into picture. And why I have drawn this line, because 1 3 and x and y you can take, then obviously this line comes into picture, and after that in order to column space I can able to draw this line. So actually what happens, if you have some matrix A, then in this way also you are able to visualize the matrix, and due to that reason you know that matrix is one of the most important things to store the information, because using that information I can do lot of things. Now let us come to the another important example, because I have told you that means in case of linear system I have either isolated equilibrium point or I have unique equilibrium point, or if I have infinite equilibrium point, then all equilibrium point is connected, because ax equal to 0 if that is null space. So null space is somehow continuous space we have. So now let us try to see one example. So I am taking again repeating the example of pendulum system, and now you are able to see that pendulum system is one of the very beautiful example, because several concepts it is possible to explain using this simple example. And I hope now that you are able to understand the dynamical equation of the pendulum. And here I am assuming 2 state variable, x1 equal to theta, x2 dot equal to theta, and this is the state space representation. And in order to calculate the equilibrium point, I have to put x1 dot equal to 0 and x2 dot equal to 0, because this system is represented like this, x dot equal to fx. So please see here that I am assuming that external force, no external force is acting. So it might possible initially when I am here I have applied some force ft, and after that once t greater than equal to 0, at that time I am going to keep this force equal to 0. So that is in that way I am telling that some force is acting, and after that this system is basically moved from here to here, and after that I can give the dynamical representation of this system with this abstract mathematical equation. So equilibrium point is x2 equal to 0, and another equilibrium point x2 is already 0, so sin x1 equal to 0, and we have to put AND operator. Why AND operator? Because I have to take all combination x1 equal to 0 and x2 equal to 0. So some vector is 0 if each entry is 0, and here if you see this point, so one point sin x1 equal to 0, so one point is here, another point if pendulum is moved like this, so another point will come here, so that is 0 and pi, and again in that way you can rotate, because sin x1 equal to 0, so solution of sin x1 equal to 0, I have infinite many solution, but all solution are somehow either lie at this point or this point. So we are telling that I have 2 set of isolated equilibrium point here. So some isolated point here and some isolated point here, but that is not connected, and that is the beauty of nonlinear control system. So suppose that you have to construct some switch, then you have to you need two set of stationary point. One is on and one is off, and it is not possible to construct using linear means theory or using linear system. Why? Because in linear system or linear theory, always I have either unique equilibrium point, or if I have infinite many equilibrium point or more than one equilibrium point, all are connected. Due to that reason, using nonlinear control theory, I can construct lot of things. So try to see that whatever switch we are designing that fall on the this class, and we are telling that switch is nothing but some represent some kind of nonlinear system. Now let us come to the conclusion. So sorry, remark. So remark is that a nonlinear system can have several or infinite many. We have already seen that sin x1 equal to 0 has have infinite many solution. All plus minus n pi is the solution. So basically I have infinite many isolated equilibrium point in case of the simple pendulum system. Now let us try to see and visualize one more example. So again, this is very simple system, and here I am assuming that P belongs to R, and here A and B both are some kind of positive constant. So again I have drawn this kind of real line, and it is possible to show that I have two isolated equilibrium point, because if P equal to 0, then dP by dt equal to 0, and if P equal to A by B, again this dP by dt equal to 0. So basically I have two equilibrium point, and if you start anywhere from here, then you are moving in this direction. If you start from here, then you are moving in this direction. And in later part of this course I will tell you that if what is behavior of this equilibrium point. So behavior of this equilibrium point, you can see that if you move if you start anywhere in neighborhood of this, then we are moving towards this equilibrium point, but that is not the case here. And later part when we will deal stability, then this is called stable and this is called unstable. So from this particular geometrical representation, you are also able to see that I have, if I have isolated equilibrium point, then it might possible some isolated equilibrium point is stable, some may not be stable. Stable means if you start nearby of this equilibrium point, then you are going to converge. But be careful, if you start exactly at this equilibrium point, you are not going to move. So either you can start from one stable point, or a stable point you are going to stay there forever. Now let us come to the second class of the system, and that second class of system is called non-autonomous system. And I have already told you that meaning of non-autonomous system is that time is now going to explicitly present. And again, whenever you are representing any system, then you have to talk about everything. We are telling that this dynamical system has n number of state. Here time I am always considering positive, and this is the state, and this is the function, because I have to maintain uniqueness of the output. And again equilibrium point is defined like this, and here you can see that be careful that x star is equilibrium point provided here for all t greater than equal to t0, means t0 is the time of starting of your experiment. If that is equal to 0, then only I can tell this as a equilibrium point. So now let us consider the special case, and that is a special case is linear time invariant linear time. Basically this is linear time varying system, so LTV system, not LTI system. So in this LTV system, linear time varying system, I have constructed one very simple example. X dot equal to AT into X, and AT is now whatever matrix, that each entry of matrix there exists some kind of time varying time varying element. And what we are telling that equilibrium point at origin unless this AT is singular, and this should be singular for all t. So that is very important. So you have to check that for all t this is singular or not. If that is not singular, then x equal to 0 is not the equilibrium point. Now please do not confuse, because here A is changing with respect to time, then I cannot talk about the null space here. So now let us try to see two simple example. Here I am assuming at not equal to 0. So in this case, you can see that equilibrium point in this case is x equal to 0. So I have unique equilibrium point. But in this case, you try to put x dot equal to 0, and at that time, you can see that I cannot able to find equilibrium point, because somehow equilibrium point is those point, if I start from there, that is going to stay there. But if you solve this, then you are able to find some kind of x which is varying with respect to time. Due to that reason, this system has no equilibrium. So now let us come for the conclusion. So what we have observed, that whenever I have some dynamical system, I am talking about nonlinear system, then obviously I am characterizing using input and output and using space. So actually state space means where my all states variable is going to lie, and in that space there exists some kind of unique point, and property of that point is that if you start from that point, you are going to stay there forever. I am assuming that there is no disturbance, there is no forcing function for time being, and I will introduce the forcing function in the future lectures. After that, what we found that in linear system, either we have unique equilibrium point, or if I have infinite many equilibrium point, then that is connected. So using linear control theory, I cannot create some class of system which has many or more than one isolated equilibrium point. That is restriction of one of the main restriction of linear control theory, and we have seen that how to define the equilibrium point for linear autonomous system, non-linear autonomous system, linear autonomous system, non-linear time varying system, or non-autonomous system, or LTV system. So with this remark, I am going to stop the today's lecture. In next lecture, using help of these concepts, I am going to talk about the linearization. So thank you very much.